What's going on, YouTube? STU Key, another episode. For those who don't know, my name is Keontae, and I think this is y'all first time seeing me with glasses, so you know, welcome back to the channel. Though I'm Keontae. For those who don't know me already, it's been a while since I uploaded an episode. I'm gonna try to keep it. I'm kind of like looking into like better ways, like keeping the episodes like short. Hopefully, like this kind of ends around the like 15-minute range. Um, Uploaded a few podcasts already. Um, Last time I had talked to you guys, it was the outlook on the Bear season. I think it was following week 5 or week 6. It was following week 5. So it's been a while. Hope everyone is doing good. I don't know. I don't think anybody's staying consistent with this channel. Still pretty new. Still new to all this. Probably a lot of work and improvement. Just comment. Comment. Let me know like what do y'all think? What do y'all think I should do better or whatnot? But as far as today's episode, right? Gotta Right now I'm recording this after week 10, the Wednesday after week 10. And what better way of like just kind of like transitioning into like a new period of hopefully more consistent videos and everything. Right, what better time to do this than like a mid-season like awards and mid-season mid NFL season outlook. And I gotta tell you, like, what a year's been already in NFL. I'm not gonna get into the whole storytelling thing. I'll let them save that for NFL honors or at the Super Bowl and whatnot. But it's been a great season so far. Just a lot of like ups and downs, a lot of surprises, a lot of question marks. Fucking Aaron Rodgers about to return from a torn Achilles earlier in the season. It's also amazing, honestly, and it's just as a football fan, you just have to love it. Um, but without further ado, I'm gonna hit the midseason awards right now, who I think should be winning, and I'm gonna start off with an award that is probably the most obvious. Offensive Rookie of the Year, CJ Stroud, without question. He has been balling. He does not look like a rookie out there. He looks like a quarterback that is literally a top 10 quarterback in the league. He does not look anything like a rookie. I have seen no rookie struggles so far, and that is what's so crazy about this dude playing football at the high level. And there's nobody even close. The only people that might be close are Bijan Robinson and fucking Jahmyr Gibbs for the Lions, bro. It's just like they're not even getting the ball as much, you know what I mean? Like, but CJ Stroud, the offense is in his hands, and you can tell that the entire team has confidence around him. He's not tossing to any Pro Bowlers or known wide receiver talent, One could argue that Tank Dell was there, but Tank Dell was still a third-round pick. This man, CJ Stroud, is tossing the ball around the whole field to a bunch of nobodies, you could say. And he's leading the league in almost everything, passing-wise. He literally has the most passing yards going into week 10. He is first in turnovers. He has only turned the ball over twice as a rookie. That typically rookies, we've had the rookies of the past, the pick sixes on their first play, rookies that have had like 3 interception games, and so far CJ Stroud has done none of it. Turnovers that really aren't even like, it's one of those turnovers that he has, like, just go back example to the Bengals game. He was just trying to extend the game of like just keeping the Bengals off the field. He made a bad read, but immediately said, "That's on me." That's what you gotta love to see at the quarterback position. But nonetheless, CJ Stroud, by far, he's running away with that award. There's nobody that's going to be able to compete. Defensive Rookie of the Year, it is a hard one. But one thing that I can't overlook per se is when you get off to a hot start that Devon Witherspoon has had for the Seattle Seahawks, honestly. He's playing good. He's playing great for his position, honestly. And you always want to, like, I lean a lot towards Jalen Carter, and you want to always look at the defensive line. But the issue with him is that he's doing, like, cornerbacks are left on an island by themselves. Sometimes they have a double team shell defense over the top of them, but most of the time they're on an island by themselves. Jalen Carter, he might be getting QB pressures, QB hurries. He might get he might get a sack here and there, but he is on a great defensive line in Philadelphia, and you can't. As me, I can't dismiss that. Like, yes, he was a high round draft pick. He has all world talent, but he has too much talent to help him on that side of the ball. Like, in terms, because like his job is to rush the passer. If you have two Pro Bowlers, if you have one Pro Bowler, it also is a way to look at it, but he has two Pro Bowlers rushing beside him. I love what Jalen Carter's doing. I love his potential, but not defensive rookie of the year. I can't do that. Comeback player of the year. Gotta transition to the comeback player of the year, and it's a funky award, man. Like, I know a lot of people that are looking at Damar Hamlin to win that award, but only thing is about Damar Hamlin is, like, obviously, like, to overcome when he's overcome that is absolutely amazing. But it's hard to do that when he doesn't play that much. You know what I mean? Like he's only been playing a lot of special teams this year. They haven't put him on defense yet. And for a team that actually it needs to show your defensive depth, because they have had a lot of injuries on defense in the Buffalo Bills. Now, in terms of who actually should win the award, I think it's going to go to Breece Hall, but it could very much also go to Kyler Murray. Now, Kyler Murray, he didn't play like out of this world returning from his injury this past weekend. No. He only had about 270 yards passing, 2 tutties. Nothing too crazy, but he also ran a lot. The reason why I'm leaning to Breece Hall, well, really, I just have to say acknowledge Kyler Murray, because Kyler Murray could come back and he could, like, really just be slinging the rock around the field, honestly. You never know. But Breece Hall, it's because that offense goes through him. And obviously Aaron Rodgers goes down, and it's something you couldn't necessarily control as a teammate of his, honestly. Like, he goes down, but it's the fact that Zach Wilson, he's having these up and down games. One game he plays great for his role, and another game he plays terrible. But in terms of like who's putting the points on the board, it's Breece Hall, because you get to lean towards a play action game for Zach Wilson, but then you also get to like have Breece Hall run the ball down your throats, honestly. He's going to end this season with about 1,400 rushing yards, I think, because still he has a lot more games to go, and he's only going upward. His trajectory is only going up as a running back coming back from a torn ACL. So Breece Hall comeback player of the year. My apologies, comeback player of the year, but could very, very, very much be Kyler Murray if Kyler Murray balls out. Now, over to Coach of the Year. I don't think it's a question who really should be Coach of the Year, especially if he leads his team to the playoffs. And that's DeMeco Ryans. I know that people are looking at John Harbaugh or a Kevin O'Connell, which those two have been doing amazing jobs as coaches. Obviously, Kevin O'Connell, he's doing what he's doing with Josh Dobbs now at this point. And then, John Harbaugh, he is doing what he always has done in the regular season, but this season it's being looked at more because the defense is on another level. That Ravens defense is on another level, but then they also had their meltdown this past weekend. It's fucking nuts. But nonetheless, Coach of the Year, DeMeco Ryans. DeMeco Ryans, if he makes the playoffs, without question. And I know it's not a guarantee that he makes playoffs. Even if he doesn't make the playoffs, I think that there still is warrant team, like, there's like consideration up top about it, because he's doing what he's doing with a franchise that has been terrible over the past few years. It's where you could say like treating coaches bad, or just like roster management. And Miko Ryan is doing this not with a lot of big name talent, but he is doing it, coaching his ass off, and he's doing with the offense that is going through a first round quarterback, second pick overall, and quarterback rookie. My apologies. First round rookie at quarterback, and they're actually slinging the rock. They're actually putting up points every week. And another thing is just that defense is playing really nice. Nothing too crazy. They're not like taking a bunch of. They're not taking the ball away every play, but the physicality that they're playing, you can tell that D'Amico is building a San Francisco 49ers over in Houston, because that's the way that he knows it, being under that staff for a few years. And also, I'm one of those people that believes that if you're gonna give the award to a Brian Daboll, who did nothing spectacular, it feels like last year with the Giants, like, yes, he coached the shit out of Daniel Jones, but there was nothing that like the Giants were doing that's like highlight worthy. They were the last. They were the I think they were the sixth seed in the playoffs or something in the NFC, in a weaker NFC year for the most part. But I just can't ignore that, honestly. Like if you're gonna give it to Brian Daboll when they should have gave it to Doug Peterson doing what he did in that coaching turnaround in his first year, leading Jags to a playoff victory as well, from after coming off of being the number one pick in back-to-back years. If you're going to give the award to Brian Daboll over basically saying first-year coach make the playoffs and quote-unquote turning around a franchise, if you're going to give it to Brian Daboll when you should have given it to Doug Peterson, D'Amico Ryan should easily run away with this award. Man, Defensive Player of the Year. Is it so crazy that one person that has been in the mix, it's like people are just taking turns, man. It's like they're just taking turns of like winning Defensive Player of the Year. And it's so crazy. Like, the person that doesn't get talked about enough, but everybody knows about, is finally getting his like justice in being Defensive Player of the Year. And it's Myles Garrett, honestly. Like, Myles Garrett has been great since he's been in the league. These past like 3 years, he's taken off, but he's always gotten overlooked by the person that is above him. Last year, Myles Garrett got overlooked by a Nick Bosa, and then the year before, he got overlooked by T.J. Watt. And T.J. Watt they both are great pass rushers, but Myles Garrett is on their level, so it's like you got to give it to him, honestly. And this year, he's playing out of his mind. You saw the game that he had against the Baltimore Ravens. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. And you got picking back up. That was bad. Hopefully, I'll figure out how to edit that into it. But picking back off of Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett just playing out of his mind. Offensive Player of the Year is probably going to be Christian McCaffrey. Just having the touchdown streak that he had. Oh, actually, no. This is going to be a toss-up from Christian McCaffrey and Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill with 1,000 yards in his first 8 games. Like, ooh, are you kidding me? But then it's also like a Christian McCaffrey who's just, he's powering into the end zone, and that offense, he just makes that offense just go, man. Like, if you get the play action going with Christian McCaffrey, didn't have him leak out of the backfield. But then it's like Tyreek Hill, he's just, what are you going to do against him? I really do think that, like, obviously, like, this is coming after the Kansas City Chiefs did what they did. But really, what you saw, Tyreek Hill got double teamed and there was no other, I want to say there was no other wide receiver help, but there was nothing else that, like, you could actually, like, really, really, really do, essentially. Because basically what they were doing is that they basically brought a linebacker down to cover the flat of Tyreek Hill and a person over the top of Tyreek Hill. So it's like, you can try to burn him. Like, there's nothing, you can't look at him immediately, and then by the time you look back at him for your reads into a Tagovailoa, he's already up top, like, with somebody covered to him. Like, it was genius by Steve Spagnuolo, the Kansas City Chiefs defense coordinator. It was genius. But nonetheless, those two, I don't know who the hell's going to get the award. It's really a toss up though. Um, who else we got to go to now? We just have to go to the MVP, and it's a this section this topic is always a hard one because whoever it is going to win is going to be one of the final four teams that make it. And right now, I mean, it really is looking like the final four teams could be not Cincinnati. It could be. I mean, it could be like Joe Burrow's still playing good. Like he might have lost to C.J. Stroud, but a wide receiver dropped the wide open touchdown. That's not going to happen again, I think, and that's not Joe Burrow's fault. But in terms of the top three candidates, we have to just look at Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, and Lamar Jackson. I think Jalen Hurts is going to get the award because I don't see the Eagles losing as many games or losing games where it's like, okay, it's the same as last year. He's the runner-up. Just give it to the person that... Because, we don't want to give it to Patrick Mahomes because Patrick Mahomes, he's great, but he's not the one... He's putting up numbers, but his team isn't necessarily finishing his plays or something because obviously wide receivers are dropping passes essentially. But Patrick Mahomes could easily win MVP. He still is playing out of his mind. And then Lamar Jackson doing what he's doing this year is it's fun to watch for football, honestly. He's not even, but the thing is his MVP candidacy hurt this weekend. It took a dip because of the game that he played against the Cleveland Browns. I don't know, man. It's always a toss up. I think that Jalen Hurts is going to lean more towards it because I know I just feel like his team is going to be in the conference championship. It is, but I think that Jalen Hurts is playing really good. Obviously with the QB the QB rushing touchdowns but also passing the rock around. Honestly, that's always so important. And you just gotta respect it. You gotta love it, and he's doing it after getting a big contract. Jalen Hurts should be winning MVP this year. I don't see nothing necessarily stopping him. Super Bowl out overlook at the moment. I was really on the side of the Ravens going, but then seeing what happened with them to the Cleveland Browns, what they did to him, it's the Ravens defense didn't show up, and then I think that they have an injury in Marlon Humphrey now. It's bruh, I don't know. AFC side is tricky because any team could heat up and any team could go back down to it. Honestly, actually, to go back on the coach of the year standpoint, I'm going to have to show love to Dan Campbell, too. I don't know how the hell... Because I was about to say that the Lions could very much go to the Super Bowl this year. But I didn't talk about Dan Campbell enough for Coach of the Year. I think that D'Amico Ryan should win it, but Dan Campbell should be a fucking finalist, man. It's probably going to be D'Amico over Dan Campbell because of what D'Amico is doing. But nonetheless... But... I really do think that this year the Lions could go to the Super Bowl. Now, only thing that I'm concerned about is they haven't been to the playoffs yet. All right? And that's kind of a big thing of people that end up going to the Super Bowl. But I really do think that the Lions could go to the Super Bowl because we're going to... I don't know. I just really think that it's whoever... I think that one of the two teams is going to... one of these three teams, Philadelphia... the Eagles, Philadelphia Eagles, the Detroit Lions, and the San Francisco 49ers. All three of those teams, one of those teams is gonna knock each other out. And then it's whoever is the fresher of that team, I feel because one of those teams is gonna knock, and I think that Detroit is in position to be there only because I think Detroit might end up with the first seed, maybe. And that would put San Fran and Philadelphia at 2 and 3 potentially, and those two have to knock each other off. And then Detroit is there, and if Detroit gets to play that game at home, because their offense is different when it's in the dome, man. And it's like, yeah, they can play outside too. I have no doubts because they're going, and that's going to get tested when they go play the Packers and everything. You know that because that helps them more than anything. But when you're seven, when you're no, I think they 8-2 now. Oh my god, they're 8-2 now. Just like Detroit, man, like it looks like they're going to be the one seed because of their easier path. Because the Eagles and the Niners are going to see each other in 2 weeks. I think it's goodness gracious. Like what a year for the NFC. What a year, honestly. But that's all I have for you guys today. I appreciate you watching. Comment on the video. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you want, like what you want to hear from me. Let me know what I can improve on. I don't really look at the whole like, comment, subscribe. Obviously, I want subscriptions, but like, comment, subscribe, like the like part. I don't know what that really does for me. Like, I want people to just like give me feedback and everything because that's how important this shit is to me. But nonetheless, signing off for you guys. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Hopefully, see you guys next week for another NFL episode.